Well, just you can see that was the Cessna U.206 Stationair we just seen came over this evening anyway. Which technically that was flying over just almost over my side anyway. Normally, well, technically that flew over just almost over at my place anyway. So yeah, which as you can see the registration is G-AZRZ, that is, which just you can tell this is one of the Cornish parachute Skydive aircraft anyway. This is the one that's operated by the Cornish parachute Skydive aircraft anyway, which this is the one that's based in Perranporth Airfield anyway, which this is the actual aircraft that's based in Perranporth anyway. So yeah, which this is the one we mostly see in Cornwall sometimes anyway, that we sometimes do see the Cornish parachute Skydive anyway. So yeah, and just you can see that's just took off from his base at Perranporth Airfield probably just before 7 o'clock anyway. So as you can tell, it just took off from his base at Perranporth Airfield just before 7 o'clock this evening anyway, which I think by the looks of it is just going out doing some parachuting training by the looks of it, which this is the one that basically does over at Perranporth Airfield anyway, when it gets the parachute people off this aircraft anyway, especially when it arrives at Perranporth, the parachute drops anyway, because obviously this is where, because at the time with this aircraft that just does the parachute drop zone over at Perranporth Airfield anyway, especially with the guys that are in the aircraft with the parachute plane and all that. So yeah, basically this is the one we don't normally see well, during the time, but this is the one we don't normally see during the time anyway, the G-AZRZ, which technically this is the one we don't normally see during the time anyway. So yeah, which sounds a bit awkward because obviously, you know, we don't normally see the Cornish parachute Skydive. Which technically this is the only bed that we don't usually see most of the time though, is the Cornish parachute Skydive anyway. We normally don't usually see that over in South Cornwall anyway. So yeah, and especially another private plane that we saw earlier on, that was the Cessna 172M Skyhawk that we saw earlier on apparently, which the other one we did see earlier on, which that one came overhead past me though earlier on this afternoon, that was the GEGRA, that was, which that one that came a bit lower, but obviously came a bit low to at least 1,300 feet anyway, which obviously that was the one we saw earlier on anyway, which the other registration, I think that was the one that was operated by the Bodmin Flying Club anyway, which this is the one that was operated by the Cornwall Flying Club anyway, but similar to that one anyway, which that one we used to see anyway, but obviously, you know, we sometimes do hear the Cornish parachute Skydive aircraft, which sometimes we usually see over Penryn anyway, but sometimes we do hear the background noise of it anyway. Especially when it does show that it's showing coming anyway. So yeah. Anyway, just so you can see, as he was to start with, he was around 6,000 feet anyway, and then just from here he was literally, as he was turning right, he was literally just about 8,000 feet he was. So technically he was literally just about 8,000 feet high, he was anyway. So literally he was about 8,000 feet anyway. But whereas from here he was around 75,000 feet anyway. Which, just so you can see, this is the only bit that we saw it anyway. We saw it just flew past over Pound Wevel and Pound Wow by the looks of it. As you can see, it just flew past over Pound Wow anyway, and Pound and Wevel by the looks of it. So literally it's just flew past over there anyway. Just at a certain distance, you know, to where I saw it flying past over in Pound Wow anyway, just over my house apparently. To where I saw it, just literally just near my house anyway, just near my local area in Penryn. So yeah, normally we don't really see the Cornish parachute Skydive recently, but normally we don't normally see that though, which sounds a bit awkward because normally we don't really see that over in South Cornwall anyway. Normally it ends up over in North Cornwall anyway, between North and South Cornwall, but obviously like almost over in South Cornwall anyway, but sometimes we do often see it when it does come near South Cornwall anyway, like near my place anyway, because like sometimes I do often hear it when it comes over near my place sometimes. So yeah, because obviously it happens when it comes over my place sometimes anyway. The Cornish parachute skydive is the one that we sometimes see. Apparently it's the one we sometimes see in Penryn anyway, but obviously, you know, it's the one we sometimes see in South Cornwall anyway. But just you can see right now, he's literally coming up to about nearly 10,100 feet anyway. He's nearly, at least it's nearly about, there we go, it's now at 10,100 feet now apparently. So yeah, hopefully he will probably be going into a drop zone over Pamplef Airfield anyway. Hopefully he'll probably be going into a drop zone very soon. Probably into a drop zone anyway, over Pamplef Airfield with the guys jumping off the plane and all that. Especially they'll be doing parachute clubbing as well anyway. So yeah, which ends up over Pamplef Airfield runway. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, but by the looks of it, that should be going back to probably back to its base at Pamplef Airfield very soon, hopefully. Which hopefully it should be going back there soon anyway. So yeah. Okay, so yep. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.